Welcome back. This is similar or congruent based two.
We're looking at dilations and discussing that after you take a figure and you dilate it, you have what's called similar figures. Remember, I moved dilations. Y'all stay with me. Remember, I moved dilations from the transformations booklet to this unit on its own because it's the only one that produces a different size.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Y'all, by the way, y'all have to think about what I'm saying as I say it. If you're just sitting in here like a car parked in a garage, you're not going to register anything. Okay, so make sure you're actively listening. When you take a figure and you dilate it, you no longer have a carbon copy. You now have either a smaller or bigger shape, correct? Those are called similar figures. Think of it as taking your hand and saying like, yeah, they're similar. Have you ever seen someone do this gesture to imply they're kind of alike, but there are a few differences? Somewhat is a great comparison. Similar. They're the same shape, but they're totally different sizes. Okay? Looking at this maze, it's kind of hard to tell. All right. So we're going to do this together just as a class. We're not working through the whole thing. This is just a couple, and then I'm going to throw at you a maze that is leveled up that involves transformations to see if you can distinguish if it would be similar or carbon copies. So, which is what fancy word in math? Starts with a C. Congruent. I know I give you all this. I don't want to step on someone's phone because I definitely like food, so I would crush it. So if you'll just keep it against the wall. All right. So right here, are they similar carbon copies or
Similar.
No.
Similar.
That's congruent either.
No, I would
That's it. Similar. That one's better.
I would say one looks smaller than the other.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so similar.
Oh,
All right. What about these?
Neither.
I can't see. Neither.
Sorry. Why is it neither?
Because they're not the same shape.
They are not the same shape at all. So that would be neither. All right. What about these? Okay. What about these?
Neither.
Neither.
What about these?
Or similar.
No, those are congruent.
Oh, my bad.
I think they
They're the
look
same
the same size.
Congruent.
Okay.
Similar.
Okay. All right. Do you get the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. What the? Well,
Well, let me be honest. A lot of people, they see words and they shut down. And guess what?
I'm one of those people.
You're going to have to level up. You're not going to graduate with a high school diploma if you can't read or don't want to read. You're going to have to level up and read a little. Pass this back. This is page.
Let me do that.
You are too much like him. I love you, I hate you. Stay in your lane, and I love you. Stay in your lane. I haven't stressed that to my boys lately. They're all up in each other's problems. Mommy, he just, Reese will go, Mommy, he just went to me. And I'm like, and of course I look over at Ross and he's going, what? You kidding me? Can you leave your 4-year-old brother alone? Okay. He turns 8 next month. We got Sam. That's it. Because you moved because of
You
Blair.
know Sam's like deathly sick right now.
Yeah, she texted me.
What if
I need to check on her.
Yeah.
Yes.
like deathly sick? What do you
Just,
mean
like, really
deathly
bad.
sick?
Well,
That's just funny.
Like,
Alright, I want to go take a nap, so I'll do this later.
what was it?
It was
My mom
just
hates it.
looking
I can
for
so bad. I come home.
requirements for
Here, act you.
And then
For a certain
I
degree,
don't know
for
if that is.
undergraduate
Yeah,
admissions,
I'll check. Yes.
you just Google it.
This girl has
Well,
not
do you
found
think
it.
they'll
Fat, chubby face,
they require the
like
ACT?
everyone else.
this year or for my year? You think they do?
More colleges are requiring it now. They're
I
trying
I
to
heard
get
that
them
the
like,
only
It's hilarious.
college
I had to-
in
I had
Georgia
to be done.
this
I
year
had
that
to
started
go
was UGA.
Probably.
I don't know.
Okay,
There is a
that's
chance you're
one.
right.
If not, then I'm not taking ACT again.
Are ACTs really that bad?
All right,
It's so bad. It's awful.
please take
I'll
this
take
paper
AC,
that I
not the SAT
just
already.
gave you, and please put page 50 on it. Some of you need to work on your page numbers. Page 50. This is page 50.
Page 50.
You're starting at do similar figure. I'm gonna help you with a couple.
I thought it was
Do similar. Listen.
She's trying to help us.
Do similar figures have the same size, same shape, or both?
Oh.
Same
Oh, it's
shape.
the same shape, obviously.
Shape. Similar. Similar means just the same shape. Congruent, think carbon copies. Same shape, same size.
I love that paper.
So same shape. If a square is dilated, will the resulting figure be similar or congruent?
Oh, it's gonna be
Similar.
congruent.
Similar.
It's dilated.
It's gonna be changing it, bud.
Besides,
If something's being dilated, what's changing?
it's getting bigger.
It's getting bigger or smaller, which means it's, what'd you say?
Changing in size.
Size is changing, which means it's no longer congruent. It will now be similar. Okay, I'm going to give you four minutes to work on your own. Then I'm going to come back together and we're going to talk about it, okay? 4 minutes. I'm setting a timer.
Can we be partners?
No, not yet. Set a timer for 4 minutes.
Is there
4 minutes. Starting now.
Mine-
Yeah, I put her at
I would
Australian.
pay somebody to talk to me if they're
This is page 51. We're looking at similar figures notes. What did we say causes similar figures? Starts with a D. Dilations. Dilations produce similar figures. Please go to the top of your paper right now in that little top margin and write dilations produce, no, top of your paper, very top. Dilations produce similar figures.
What happened? What's wrong with it? You can't say anything.
Okay, we are recording. Dilations produce similar figures. Fill in the blank with the appropriate word, phrase, or symbol to make it true. Similar figures have the same blank, but not necessarily the same. They have the same shape, but not necessarily the same size. Here is something new. The symbol for similar I like to think of it as the idea of taking your hand and shaking it for like similar, somewhat. It is called a tilde. Why is it called tilde? I don't know. I don't know if she invented it, but it's called a tilde. I like to stay away from politics because I don't.
Doesn't have to be political.
Okay. Well, when he became president, he is now a politician. But I just like to stay away from that because I don't like when people start arguing. It's called a tilde. Think of it as like taking your hand and doing this, right?
I feel like it's more like this.
I feel it's like this.
Nice. Okay. It means similar to, and the symbol blank is the abbreviation for the word angle. You should know this. What's the symbol for angle?
The half check mark.
It's like a little V.
LV. Okay.
In similar figures, corresponding angles let me guess. This is what y'all were doing on that Friday.
No.
No,
We weren't doing it.
he was literally lying about the pot.
All right. In similar figures, corresponding angles are congruent. Angles are congruent, and corresponding sides are proportional. This looks familiar. Hence the reason we practiced proportions before learning this lesson. Do you remember what I said a proportion is? We wrote it at the top of our paper, pointing an arrow to the word proportion. What is a proportion? We wrote it at the top of our paper. You didn't. Pointing to the word proportion.
Like that.
What?
Fraction equals fraction.
Fix that first word.
Oh, fraction equals
There it is. A proportion, remember, is a fraction equals a fraction. All right, so this is really important that you wrap your mind around this. If I take a shape and I dilate it, I have similar figures, which means the angles that pair up are equal, but the side lengths are not. However, they are proportional. To find a missing side length, set up and solve a proportion. All right, so let's look at some examples. Identifying corresponding parts of similar figures. Look at this right here. I want you to box this in. Now I want you to draw an arrow to it, and I want you to write similarity statement. If I give you a similarity statement, it means I'm telling you exactly what is congruent to what angle-wise, and what side is proportional to what side. Similarity statement, I like to say, packs a punch, kind of like Tennessee did on Alabama.
Or Psalm 16.
It don't matter. It's still a W, like all Georgia fans say. This right here is a similarity statement. This is how you read it. Look with me. Remember, you can sit in a garage all day. That doesn't make you a car. You've got to think.
That's a good one.
You can put the pads on and show up to the game. That doesn't make you a football player, right?
Like a kicker.
I'm kidding. That was, yeah. Anyways, here's how you read it. Watch. Triangle ABC there's the tilde, is similar to triangle XYZ, which means, if you look at it right here, angle A is congruent to angle Y. I'm sorry. You're correct. It doesn't help that the letter Y is in the second part. I meant to say question Y, W-H-Y. Why is it X? They're in the exact same spot. Very good. All right. So angle B would be congruent to angle Y. Thank you. And then angle C would be congruent. Very good.
Every time you say Tilda, I think you say Matilda, and then I'm thinking about that movie.
The movie.
I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
That's the best movie.
Would I be Miss Honey or Miss Churchbull? Thank you. Okay, you get extra credit. Thank you. You all do.
Wait. Yeah.
Look at the next part. Side AB matches with, meaning corresponds to, pairs with, what side from the second triangle?
XY.
It's as simple as reading it in the same order. So AB is right here, XY is right there. I do want to put the little lines over it to show we are talking about the side. You fill in the last two. Right here. Fill in these two. Okay, you should be done. If you're not done, then let me go through this one and let's try to understand how to answer it so you can do the next one. Side BA corresponds with side YX. Trick question. Do these two statements mean two different things? Or do they mean the same thing? Why do they mean the same thing? They're the same lines. All they did was reverse the letter order, which does not change the line you're looking at, right? What about BC matches with YZ? What lines are those? Okay, coming down here. You practice the two remaining similarity statements. Here are your statements to start with. And then here's where you're going to fill in your angles and your sides.
I just can't read it that far.
Oh.
I feel math smart.
I love it.
I don't understand
The similarity statement is me saying to you, hey, you have this shape,
Oh, it is. Okay.
and here's all of your angles, and they're going to be similar to this shape with these angles, and it's the dilation. Remember, similarity comes from doing a dilation. So they dilated triangle sit to produce triangle dog, or vice versa. They haven't told us which one. Right now it's just filling in the statement. Try it. If you have a blank spot on your paper, I have nothing to work with. Yes. Very good. Yes, very good. Good. Try it. Look at what we talked about with the angles. What do you think? It's your hint is at the top of your paper. Not like the very top, but up here. Look at what we talked about with the angles. One more minute.
This feels into something harder.
Oh, yeah.
It always does.
Every week.
Just like when Bama faced Tennessee, it got harder. Strength of schedule just.
It's like they were playing like that. Y'all didn't get called every play. Y'all got 10 penalties, and we had almost 10. That's
So-
coaching.
So, do you remember me saying if you're not meeting the expectations, you can't call unfair?
Your coaching was terrible. Coaching, yes.
It was our offensive coordinator that didn't run the ball when we had a touchdown with the possession.
It's almost like I said coaching. You said offensive coordinator, which is a coach.
But your OC didn't run the ball because Tennessee's defense can't protect the pass, and that's why they took the chance.
They couldn't protect the run either. Obviously, Jameer Gibbs could easily get free.
But he
enough,
didn't.
enough to win.
Because he maybe got like 10 carries all game.
No, it was a lot more than 10 carries.
Bet, please. I guarantee you they did not run 10 times. Or we were betting on it.
$10.
Oh, let's just do $1.
$1.
Okay, that's between y'all. Yeah.
Well, he didn't have over 20 carries.
Okay, that's the stretch.
It's 10 more carries.
That's a lot.
That's not.
That's a
Yes.
lot of football.
Thank you. Will you ask that again when I point to you in a second? Okay.
No.
Have you finished the dog that's sitting? Okay. All right.
Central bottom.
Hannah, angle D is congruent to angle. Thank you. Trenton, angle O is congruent to angle. Good. Seth, angle G is congruent to angle. Very good. Ryan, side DO matches with.
That's I.
Thank you. Cade, IT matches with.
Oh, gee.
Very good. Jolie, ST matches with. Very good. Suppose angle S is 25 degrees. Okay, the first thing I'm going to say to you, remember some of you are struggling with math, and it's because you're not going from what they tell you to the picture and putting it on the picture. Put it on the picture. Be a visual person. Train yourself to say, oh, well, they told me angle S is 25, so I better go to angle S and write what? 25. Now let's read the question. If angle S is 25, what's the measure of angle D?
25.
Why?
Because they are.
Angle S is right here. Now you can't go off the picture necessarily, although they are turned the same way. Go up here and see angle S pairs to angle D, which would let you know that, okay, yeah, that would also be 25. What did you ask me?
If you couldn't just like look at the similarity statement.
Very good. So when you're looking at this to fill it in, do you have to have the picture? No, you don't. If I give you the similarity statement, it's just a matter of lining up the letters. In fact, I would go off of the similarity statement before I would go off of the picture because sometimes they're not drawn to scale. They never are, but sometimes they're really bad and it's hard to tell which one pairs with which. Emma, angle H is congruent to angle P. Very good. Caleb, angle O is congruent to angle. Awesome. I'm not called. Kesley, angle T is congruent to angle. Good. Joey, PI matches with. Great. Alex, IG matches with. Awesome. Paris, GP matches with.
The HT, same thing.
HT is the same thing. It would be fine to write that. Yes. Go to the back.
It's not very nice.
Because I typically go in the order of the letters. So while it is the same thing, it's my OCD that bothers me if you didn't put it in the same order.
Yeah, but that isn't the same
Which is
order.
why I was hesitating. I was trying to tell myself. Did I do it in the wrong order?
Look, GP.
GP would be TH.
Yeah, but I'm talking about on the shape, like it's like G to P.
Oh no, then that does matter. Because we're gonna get to something where it's twisted and you do have to pay attention. So always go by the similarity statement. Alright, go to the back. Numbers 1 and 2. What do the directions say?
The figures below are similar.
Okay, let me stop, take a highlighter, and highlight right there. Why is that significant?
Because similar shapes have the same size, same shape, different size.
Very good. Which means the angles that pair together are congruent, and the sides that pair together starts with a P. Oh, she said it. All right, say it again. The sides that pair together are proportional, which means we can set up a proportion and do what to solve?
Cross multiply.
And do you know how to do that?
I do.
Because
we did our homework Friday.
there you go. Look at number 1. They did not give us a similarity statement. Since they are turned the same way, you can assume safely that this pairs. Oh my, that was too much. Try that again. You can assume safely that 3 pairs to what over here? The question mark. And 4 pairs to 8. Okay? So we're going to set up a proportion and we're going to cross multiply to solve. So 3 compares to the question mark. Can we call it a variable?
Yeah, like an X.
As 4 compares to 8. Now cross multiply to solve. Cross multiply to solve.
Dude, that's simple. Because you're multiplying the 4 by 2 to get 8, so you multiply 3 by 2 to get 6.
Very good. I do want you to write something at the top of your paper. Order matters. Be aggressive. No, wrong one. Sorry. That's on the Saturday night against Bama. Be consistent. Be consistent. Which means if you go, watch this. I'm going to switch to red. Red means wrong. If you say 3 compares to X as 8 compares to 4, you're going to get the wrong answer. And if you look at my arrows, you can probably see why. I went from small to big, and then I went from big to small, and you cannot do that. That's inconsistent. So if you're going to do small to big in one fraction, you have to do small to big in the next fraction. So maybe make a note right here. Small to big or big to small. Pick which one you like and stick with it. Your homework, your practice would be the 2,
No, you finished.
4, 6, 7 problems.
7. Oh, right, I just did that one.
Yeah.
We know. Yeah, you're done.
Let me tell you on number 6. Let me give you a small little hint. Draw separately. It will make number 6 harder. That one is a higher level of difficulty. And if you draw it separately, it will be a lot easier.
This one, can I have 2?